This video will pick up from where the Logistic3 Example 2 video left off, which was developing a logistic regression model. And now we're going to use this file loanapplicants.xl and bring it in as a data set named prospects. Now, what we notice is it has the same variables as the original bank loans data set, but there's no column out here for personal loan. So what this represents, and there's only 10 people in this data set, what this represents is 10 people who are customers, and we want to see if we think they're the type of customers who would take out this personal loan. Now we're going to use the same variables, the experience and income, and then all values of education. So we'll do the very same thing to loan applicants that we already did to the bank loans. So we want to create the dummy variables. We've called this prospects. So we'll do pd.getDummies on the prospects. And this is just telling it that when it creates the dummies, we want it to make them integer variables. And this is just a reminder, there's no field called personal loan because we don't know the outcomes for these people. But we do see that now it's created the dummy variables. And let me just run, I've got an extra, let me run all here just to make sure that there's nothing saved from what I previously did. All right, so the last variable should be the dummy variables that we created. All right, so now what we need to do is we want to use the model that we already estimated to predict for these 10 people whether or not they might take out the personal loan. So we're going to create a second X range. We'll call it X2. We're going to create it from prospects, colon for all columns, and then we'll add the numeric variables. Now, the nice thing about specifying the range of numeric variables from above is, of course, that we can just use that range here. Now, you'll notice got the wrong syntax there. Now, you notice we're not doing a Y range here. We're not fitting a model with this data. So there's no Y range because there's no personal loan value. But we do want to go ahead and scale the X values for this new data. And then we want to go ahead and add the new columns for the dummy variables. We have to do the exact same thing to this data set that we did to the original data set. So that means we would have to add the X dummy variables. Remember, those were the values for the education variable. And then we have to append them. Now, again, let's just reiterate what we're doing here. Here we have 10 people. They're bank customers. We don't know if they would want to take out a personal loan, but we want to use the model that we fit up above to predict whether or not they might want to take out a personal loan. So there's no personal loan here. So we cannot create a Y range. We're not fitting a new model. We're using the model that we already fit to predict whether these people will take out a personal loan. So we want to use, we've already fit all the way up here, we fit the classifier right here. And now we want to predict, using that classifier, the people in this new data set. So we'll do prospect.pred. So that's the predictions for the prospects. We called our model classifier. So we're going to predict the values in X2. That's going to predict ones or zeros, right? Yes or no. We'll also use our logistic regression to give us the probabilities, prospect_prob. And here is the statement for that, predict and then prob A. And then we're going to add that to our prospects. We'll add a new column. We'll call it the probability that they apply. And that'll be the prospect probability for the one outcome. The one outcome is the S outcome. So this is going to be the probability that we get the one outcome, and that's the outcome that they apply. This is an optional statement, but we'll sort that by the probability. That might help us if we want to prioritize these people. If we're going to contact these people about a personal loan, then we might want to prioritize them by the ones we believe, based on our model, are most likely to apply. And so this will sort them, and the ascending means that we'll sort them, because it's false, we'll sort them by the largest probabilities. And then this will send that file to Excel if we wanted to distribute it to people who are going to make these contacts. But we can also show it within Python. And you can see now we've sorted these people by the highest probability people that we think will accept the personal loan, so we could prioritize contacting them based on these numbers. So that's how we can use the model that we fit up above to actually make predictions for a new data set.